So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the final presentations of the 2025 Collider at Czech Technical University in Prague. We've had some very nice, very intensive 9 days behind us, where 8 teams were working on challenges by companies, provided by the companies. And if I'm correct, Mr. Riškovec from PRE has just entered the building. Great, welcome. Before we start, a couple of remarks about the proceeding, how it will go today. First of all, it's very important to note for everybody who is here that we will be taking pictures at the end when we know which teams will continue to EuroTeqathon bootcamp. We will make short videos with the teams who are going there. If you have objections that you don't want your picture to be used to become publicly available online for the companies or for Czech Technical University, that's fine. You just need to sign this form, which is over here, and then we will take that into account, and your picture or video will not be used in any PR activity. So whenever you want to, that you are uncomfortable with that, please sign the form. It's over here and it will be here the whole time. So the jury for today, we have a very big jury. It's 10 people in total. We will have 5 people from the companies who provided the challenges for today's and this year's Collider, and the 5 tutors who helped you throughout the Collider process. So I want to welcome the jury members who are online from Pixida. It's Juhat Dimo, welcome. From Tuluke, Sandra Namjalo, and from SUSE, Daniel Garcia. And I also see Johanna Leenhoff from Pixida is present here, and Anthony Storker from SUSE also. Welcome online. I hope you can follow the presentations without any problems, and hope you will have a very enjoyable presentation of all the works that has been done. And present here we have Mr. Martin Liškovec from PRE and Josef Kovařík from Capexus. Thank you very much for being here, for being part of the activities today, and of course also for casting your vote in our deliberation, who are the best teams of this year. So, what do we look at as members of the jury to your work? First of all, very important, your time slot for your presentation is 5 minutes. It's very short, we know, but it will help you really to get to the point as precise and as fast and clear as possible. After that, there is 10 minutes question and answer session between you and the challenge owner, or between you and the audience. Other people of the audience can, of course, also ask questions, and of course the people who are online also can ask questions. The second part that we will look at is the overall impression of your presentation. Is it clear? Is it well structured? Does it look good? Can people understand what your work is about? The third point is the scientific technical background of the presented solution. We are, of course, a technical university, so this part should be in order. And very important for the challenge owners who provided the challenges for you is how applicable is your solution for their company. But not only for the company, also for, let's say, general applicability of your solution. Could it be, for example, commercialized in some way? And finally, of course, the last and sixth aspect is your ability to answer the questions in the Q&A following the presentations. So based on these 6 criteria, the jury members will look at all your presentations, and throughout that we will come up with the final outcome for today. We're going to have 8 presentations. This is the order as it is done for today, because we will have a couple of jury members online. So the presentations start with the companies that are represented online. So 2 presentations from challenges based on the work from Pixida, then followed by Tuluke. After that, we have 2 presentations from SUSE, then PRE, and then 2 presentations from Capexus. I think I have covered with that all the points for today, yes. When you're going here for the presentation for your team, one of your people will receive this headphone, which you will get on your head. Second person will get a microphone for in the hand. So now when the first team comes up, which is Team Nexum, please come already over here. You will be prepared with the headset. Another microphone will be handed out. And of course, when we reach the end of the first slot of the first team, then we ask the second team to already come forward so that you get the microphone and that you can immediately start when your time slot comes up. Okay? Another point of order, as I said, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. It's very short, and it might happen that you go a little bit over time. What I will do is when the 5 minutes comes up, I start here, and I move very, very slowly towards you, so that you have an idea that, oh my God, time is running out. And when I am done, I'm really very, very close to you, then I think you get the point that you should stop.
Yes, muted. Okay.
Yes, you can go to your presentation. So we're looking forward to the first presentation by Team Nexum. No?
No, it's not.
You have to press some button.
Me.
Now it is, yes.
Yes, now? Yes, it works.
Good luck.
Thank you. And so we have it on. Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. Let me first introduce our team and myself. My name is Vitaly, and here are today Olga, Vladislav, Sofia, Alexander, and Artem. We are Team Nexum, which means connection in Latin. So, what's the problem actually? Even today, access to science is a challenge for many people. Besides of browsers, social networks, and smart storages, scientific papers are still stored as dozens and dozens of blue links. It's hard to navigate and it's difficult to understand, and we decided to change that. So, during our project, we aim to have done 4 points. First, we develop a project that aligns with sustainable development goals. We create a modern approach how information can be stored. And we create modern approach how information can be understood using artificial intelligence. And last but not least, we do as close as possible to make this product be ready to market. So, we improve educational material access for everybody. And it's not just a concept, it's a real product that can be useful for corporate needs, for companies, for organizations. And here I hand over my speech to Artem to tell you more about project specifics. Please.
Thank you, Vitaly. And speaking of barriers, let's break down how exactly do we overcome those challenges, starting with the visual simplicity of graphs that digest any complex topic into something everyone understands. Connections, plain and simple. To help you even further, our platform features an AI assistant ready at all times to navigate you through a scientific journey and unlock access to papers in any language. By combining those features, we get a powerful tool for effective yet accessible knowledge sharing between but not limited to academics, students, and people previously turned away by the sometimes complex and jarring nature of science. So, now we would love to show you the live demo of our project, so I'm handing my word to Olga.
Thank you, Artem. So let's get started. This is our web platform, which is now deployed locally. We can try it out. On the main page, you can see 4 main domains of our sciences we have in our database. Oh, okay. We have in our database. So let's say you want to research more about physical sciences. Just click on it, and now the fields are shown. Okay, so I think it's up to team where we will research environmental science. Just click, and now there are the subfields. Even tighter, we want to know more about waste management and disposal. So just click. And these are the topics. We want to know about recycling and waste management techniques, so let's just do it. And here they are, our researches. You can clearly show connections here. It is seen, it is very beautiful visually, and when you click on one node, the PDF will load. You can see the PDF, you can scroll through it, you can read it. And on the right side, you can see that our AI assistant will provide you a brief explanation of this work. You can chat with him, we can try it out, we can ask him what is, for example, MPV. And he will tell us that. Of course, if you don't know English, you can translate it to any language you want. We can try it with Czech. And here it is. Okay, so when you finished, you can just close this work and go to connected ones. For example, this one. It is now loading. And now I will hand over to Artem again, so he can provide you with more. Oh, okay. So he can provide you with corporational potential of our project. Thank you.
Thank you, Olha, for an awesome demo. And now, when we first were developing the project, we wondered how we can take this even further. Upon research, we have found that nearly half of employees struggle to find the information they need, and 4 out of 5 employees at some point recreate the duplicate files in the company's file system. So, our project, with some slight modification, can be used as a modern and highly scalable knowledge base that encompasses all the company files in a single readable and intuitive source. Thank you, CTU and EuroTeQ Collider, for providing us with a platform where the student innovation can take place in, and Pixida for all the help along the way. And thank you to everyone present here for your attention. Should you have any questions, the Q&A section is going to start soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So I open the floor for questions. Maybe from Pixida, you will have a couple of questions. Feel free to ask.
Right. First of all, thank you very much for the nice presentation. I hope I can be clearly heard.
Yes, perfect.
Right, great. Thank you. So very nice presentation, and thank you also for the effort. I would be interested to know in which databases you took into account to prepare your AI knowledge base in the back. So where do you get the information from? Anything specific? How did you train? Thank you.
Sure thing. Of course, the main data about scientific papers is sourced using the OpenAlex. It's an open API that indexes all the scientific research, and there we select the ones that have open access, those that are free to view and share. That's the main thing we use in the database. And as for the AI, the company that decides to implement those changes can just swap out the model as they wish, because the model is essentially just sent a context of what the reader looks at. For example, a specific paper, it sends the available context so that the AI assistant stays in the context and can help you answer the questions.
And furthermore question, thank you very much. You used some statistics on employees from the report you were taking as source. So the idea is to have the solution implemented in every company stakeholder or how to say research activity around, right? So there is no limit from your understanding.
Yes, of course, because we've tried to make a generalized framework for storing information. Right now we are focusing on scientific research, but we can easily adapt this project to store, for example, documents, protocols, plans, all connected within a graph and sectioned by, for example, the IT department, the product department. They can have their own sections with their own documents which are connected. This is how we generally see... I'm sorry? This is how we generally see the corporate implementation of our project.
And last question on the time frame for implementation. Do you have there, how to say, first understanding, now having in the back, let's say, players like Pixida or others who could help you? How fast could this go to market?
I believe if you have a team of developers, it can be done in a time frame of a month, maybe two. It depends on the type of data you want to implement. Because the solution is quite manageable. We use a couple of microservices, but the main goal is to get the data itself. Because you want to actually put up the connections between documents. So it's not just a nested folder and can prove actually some meaningful connections between those files. But with a competent team of developers, we can take this idea and make it and just publish this in a matter of months.
Great. Maybe there are some other questions from my side. Thank you.
Guys, that's a really cool project. I just have a question about the user experience. Well, how different the user experience is from the RAG? Just because what I see here is additional visualization, and wouldn't it be easier for a user just to make a natural language query and already get whatever they need? And already there are solutions for companies for commercial use, which index existing documents, existing knowledge bases, and then you just make an NLP query there, and you get the results. So how is it different? Thank you.
Yes, sure. This is one of the features that can be easily implemented in the future. Right now, we wanted to make the science more accessible, and that's the way we chose how to build graphs. But in the future, every graph, every scientific paper, a document has a list of keywords, and the search can be easily implemented. That's what we originally planned, and it is still a plan in the future. Just a matter of time and development. Thank you for the question.
Great that also your colleague students are asking questions. That's wonderful. Maybe some of the jury members who are here or online have further questions. If not, I don't see any raised hands.
One more question.
Okay, great.
You mentioned that issue about employees creating duplicate documents. Is there any talk about how to resolve that?
Of course, yes, because when we implement the system at the corporate level, you're going to see that the file exists in the corresponding, for example, vertex. That when you look for a file, like for example, I want a protocol on how to onboard new employees. You can easily just check in our database that you already have a similar file in that system. If you, for example, click through the needed section and see that the document is missing, then you can create the file yourself and be sure that there is no duplicates with the other files, if they're organized correctly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any further questions? Online, present. I guess not. Then thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I invite the next team to come forward to get wired up.
Okay. Hello. Thank you for having us. So why don't we get right into it? First, I would like to introduce our team. So we decided to split into two divisions, one being the design one and the other one being the research one. The research division comprised of Nare Avetian and Bai Winslet, and the research division comprised of Tirawat Shaupingham and Shen Poyen and me. We decided to tackle on the challenge by the Pixida company, Bridging Borders, as the group before us. And we asked ourselves the question, how can we bridge the gap between researchers and the world? T, what do you think?
Okay, first of all, maybe we'll have a look at this person here first. This woman name is Shan Nishan. She's the urban planning in Taipei, and now she has a big mega project to do, which is a develop sustainable smart city. But here's the problem, because the city is under the sea level, so it makes construction a nightmare. And all of that, there's a cultural and traditional conflicts, greater resistance among the local communities. And worst of all, no one in Taiwan have never handled the project before. So in order to complete all of that, she needs many things. Let's say a reliable research, multilingual expert knowledge, efficient filtering and search tool, and of course, a way to collaborate with specialists worldwide. So instead of that, she's struggling. Because lack of local precedent, scattered information, language barriers slow her work down, and also lack of expert network and public awareness. And that's exactly why we are here today, to help experts like her working faster, smarter, and get a right knowledge at her fingertips.
We imagined a digital platform that could bring researchers and regular people together. It would have several main features. The first one being Search AI feature, an adaptive translation feature, an interactive map, and last but not least, a challenges feature. The Search AI feature. Right next to the search bar, you can see the Ask AI button. By clicking on it, it will reveal this sub-menu, where you would describe your problem like you would to ChatGPT. But instead of knowing the sort of solution you're looking for beforehand, this way you only describe the problem, and the AI automatically generates keywords for you. Why don't we see the results? Well, we can see some articles. I'm not sure about you, but I certainly cannot read some of these, and Cherny Chen can't also. But what if we could? By clicking this button, now we can. Below the articles, we can also see some additional information, that being the contact information. And if we would click on the articles, we could also see where they are published. If you have a lot of articles, imagining where they are published on a world map is not that easy. But what if you didn't have to imagine it? By clicking the inconspicuous map view button, you don't have to. You can see exactly where the articles are coming from. And by clicking on them, you can see further details. But what if there is a challenge that you don't exactly have the solution for or the article for? We also thought of that. That is where the challenge feature comes in. You can create a challenge with both cash and non-cash prizes for people to solve. And you can also get inspired what other people from different cultures think. That way, you can also come up with a solution yourself. And I believe that's how we can bridge it. Thank you for having us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Excellent on time.
First in. Yes, excellent on time.
Yes, please, Yuata, if you have a question, feel free.
I just wanted to congratulate on the nice presentation and, of course, the impact of the idea the colleagues have tackled. I like that you put in the challenge, as we already discussed prior. So this is also one part of commercialization, right, that you think within the product.
Do you want to take that?
Please you repeat the question again, please.
So the challenging activity within not only tackles problem serving, but could also be discussed as a commercialization idea on how to price or even get some feedback back. Did you thought about that?
Yeah, we have thought about that. It could be like many things. It could be many challenge, and it would be like a features that many organization or each organization or a government sector could publish competition, let's say, and you could get an idea and could be commercialized in many ways. Does that answer the question?
Good.
Jota, if you have any other questions?
For now, not. I would like to hear what the audience says.
Okay, so let's hear what the audience will say. Any questions from the audience? Jury members who are here? Colleague students? It usually means everything was perfectly clear, but I see a raised hand. Excellent.
Hey, this is really cool. I just want to ask, how accurate is your translation feature? Because if you mistranslate some of the words, it could completely change the meaning of the article itself.
So, because this is just a prototype, we cannot give you a sure answer about the accuracy of the translation, let's say. But an actual the point of the translation, you could get the gaps easily to research something, so it will bridge the gap between the people who doesn't know that language at all, and we could be improve and test it the accuracy of the problem later, because this is just a prototype of our concept. Maybe you could do the proof of concept later to answer that exact question.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a good question. Something very relevant for these days, of course, when we are using Google Translate or DeepL or any other online translation service. Any other questions from the audience or other people who are online? I guess not. Well, then thank you very much for a very nice presentation. And we can go to the next team.
Thank you so much for having us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our presentation, in which we will take travel to Africa, and we will try to improve their quality of life. But at first, let me introduce CropCarbon team. Me, as a speaker, I'm Honza. Hi. This is Amalia and Tomasz. Unfortunately, the last member, Lucia, is not present, but she was really helpful and resourceful. Now, let's travel 6,000 kilometers to Africa, Uganda, where they have a big problem with landfills. Their landfill, which is all by the time closed, contains a lot of waste which could be used in more useful way. So this is how it could market in Uganda look like. It's fresh, happy people, colorful. But on the other side, there is a waste, which could be organic matter and some artificial waste. We can use the organic matter, which is primarily food, and combine it with agro waste to redistribute and create energy for Ugandans. Because 97% of these Ugandans rely on solar fuel due to the lack of power grid. And we can create biochar by slow pyrolysis or to create more of the biochar. We try to utilize locally available material to stimulate the Ugandan economy, which is drums, which are imported primarily from India and China, then bricks, which are made locally, and wavy metal sheets. Right now, they are making or producing biochar by local solutions, which are powerless, mechanical, and could be used off-grid. They have a little problem or issue with efficiency and production rate and processing time. They would like to produce more in shorter time. Who doesn't? So we proposed a rolling furnace in which you can continually create this biochar. We increase the amount of the material produced just by lowering and controlling the temperature, which is controlled by a simple metal or bimetal sensor, as you like. And to basically control the emissions, we use simple filters which are available locally. And since we did a bit of a discussion with locals, they also wanted a large-scale solution, which is easy, it's just prolong the rolling furnace. And one more thing at the end, our solution also emit less emissions, so it's basically saving lives in Uganda. Thank you.
This is really amazing. Next year in Collider, you're going to get 2 minutes for the presentations because you are all perfectly in time. Are there any questions? Sandra, would you like to react to the presentation?
Thank you very much. And CropCarbon team. I had a few questions. I'll react to the presentation is well laid out. The statistics I might have to have issues with. It's about 88%, 30,000. But focusing on the project at hand, I had a question. I like that you went with the idea of the rolling furnace. It's very ingenious, very stimulating when it comes to the dynamics that lead to the question is, what is the efficiency ultimately? Are you achieving 25? Are you achieving, what's the specific efficiency? The production efficiency?
Yeah, the production efficiency is around 24%. So it's a jump from the 10, 12, which is at the moment. So utilizing the slow pyrolysis, we can get up to 24%, maybe more, but it's just an estimate.
Okay. All right, that's good. Then how much intake do we have? How much agro waste do we to be able to
could you please repeat your question since you are lagging a bit? We did not pick everything.
Okay, sorry. I was asking how much, what's the input requirement to produce the 24% efficiency? How many barrels or how many kilograms?
There is counted on 200 kilos per barrel, and we can scale it up, as we said, with the slanted furnace when we extend it. But the standard double barrel furnace is for 200 kilos per 6 hours. Per 6 hours. So you can extrapolate that, and if some local, let's say, village wants to carbonize half a ton a day, they can build the amount of furnace they need just to work through that amount.
Okay. So how long does it take to set up such a structure?
We are not sure, but I think it could be built in a day.
In a day, okay. Okay, and all right. We had a question before about factoring in the environmental conditions of Uganda in terms of setting up and everything. You mentioned that you'd have temperature control, so that means there will be a requirement for electricity, or would the control system be battery powered? How would we manage that?
Yeah, no, there is no need of electricity. We just cover the holes which are inlet for the air, so we can regulate it mechanically, and there will be a bimetal temperature sensor inside, which is really cheap, can be obtained, and it will measure the temperature inside. If the temperature goes too high, so the pyrolysis would be too fast, you just lower the temperature by covering the inlet holes, which are located at the bottom of the furnace.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Well done.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the audience? People who are here? I have a question. Do you need to sort the agro waste that goes into your system? Are there certain things that you can't use or should not use?
Yeah, we should not use plastics and so on, because it will create a lot of bad stuff for the people who will burn the briquettes inside. Because what I understood so far, they are using black kitchens for it. So it would not be desirable to burn those briquettes where you live.
Yeah, but in terms of vegetables, fruits, or things, no restrictions?
There is no restriction. The only restriction is moisture content. So as far as you are able to dry the material you are putting in, which could be dried on the top of the and around the furnace, and also in the like the second barrel, there is a drying process because the first one is supplying fuel. It's possible.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have a question? We are going really fast, so we can take many questions. If not, okay, yes, a question.
I noticed that you said that you consulted...
Wait for the microphone, please.
I noticed that you said that you consulted the locals. So did you reach the people in Uganda to specify conditions for your project? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I did not speak directly to Ugandans. I speak to people in Kenya and Ghana, which I can reach easily. So I asked them for that, and they were kind of really cheerful about the results we created or we propose, which is directly applicable. It's not in the clouds, it's here on the ground and could be used just instantly.
Thank you. Are there any other questions, please? Three, two, one, last chance. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you for being a host, Henri.
And yep, we ask the next team to come up to the stage.
So, sorry for the technical issues we had. I think it's not much time we wasted. So our team is Mammouth, Rahal. Here's our team. I am Imran Tursunov, who is a team lead. Here's Natalia Matvienko, Shakhrukh Usmonov, Vladimir Larin, Danila Solomyany, and Mikhail Shamshidov, who is on work now. So the challenge is complex build logs of an build systems. So in example, when a package fails to build, the build system generates a huge log file, sometimes like thousands and thousands of lines. So it's really difficult to see the issue, to fix it like in a second. It's really difficult. So our solution is to integrate Log Detective with the build system like OBS, That's actually the idea of the openSUSE, so we need to implement that. So why AI is a solution? Because AI can read those big files and mark the issues, most relevant parts of it, and suggest you a fix for the problem you have. And it's also really makes contribution for the newcomers not so overwhelming. So we chose log.active because it's RPM based, so that means it's already compatible with openSUSE distribution, and it's also open source and have public API, so it's really easy for the integration. So our project progress is like we basically split it on 5 parts, and we already did 4. So we studied the tool, the log.active, then we explored OBS itself. We developed a CLI prototype which can already work, like when the log.active comes to its next phase. And we designed a couple of options for this CLI tool, and we also did a prototype for web contribution to the log.active. And the next stage should be testing on the real scale, real packets, real logs, and so on. So our integration strategy consists of 2 steps again. So the CLI plugin for OSC and the web interface. Here you can see the demonstration of how it would work. So in example, you see some errors might be like missing dependency or warning here or memory leak here. So the log.active can suggest you a fix for it, and you can also provide the log.active, the build tool itself, with some options, including like verbosity level of the analysis, whether to send metadata or not, or anything else actually. So it's really easy to integrate new options if you want to contribute it here. The next slide is a web interface solution. So basically here you can see the Copper and Koji implementation, so the people can contribute into the log.active at its current phase. So we added an OBS button too. So in example, when you fail the build in OBS, you can contribute your log file here and mark it basically here. So it's really useful if you want to contribute in the log.active. Here's a couple of expected outcomes. So it would be faster for debugging for all developers, for experts too, for newcomers. It just makes easier entry. And the builds, when you're trying to build something with this tool, it would be more stable because of log.active would basically see your log and see what's wrong and what's not. In conclusion, like you can ask us the questions you have, and yeah, we're waiting to hear the questions and to answer them.
Excellent, very good, thank you. Daniel, could you follow all this? Do you have questions?
Hello. Yes, I have a question. Because this is all open source and there is an open community behind it. Did you have any contact with OBS or log.active developers?
Not actually, but we would contribute our prototype there, like right under the OBS repository. And when we get an approval from the log.active website contributors, yeah, so they would, like, if they allow it, it would work.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I understand that you are using some kind of AI model to analyze logs and provide explanations for them. So the question is, what exactly do you build above the AI model?
So as you can see, the log detective is already built, and its current state of the log detective is contributing the logs, so the AI model would learn from it. And the next phase would be real integration, real work. So above it, we built an interface basically for OSC, like OBS. And when you are using OBS, you can just turn on an option to send this to the log detective, and the log detective would suggest you a fix, and you would see it right in the console. So it would make really easy fix for you. Like you can see it directly in the CLI.
So it's just the connection between an AI model and your logs?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I see that Anthony Stalker is also online. Maybe Anthony, do you have a question? Or some remarks, observations? Okay, probably not. Oh, okay.
No.
Good, no. Then I have a question. As a layperson, I am an architect, so I don't know anything about this. But occasionally I use ChatGPT, and I hear people that they can work wonders with debugging using ChatGPT. So when you talk about artificial intelligence, are you then using a large language model like ChatGPT, or do you train something special?
So Log Detective has it's not, Log Detective is not an ChatGPT wrapper. It's its own like LLM. So at the current phase, as I said, the people are contributing their logs to the Log Detective, and the Log Detective then studies the logs. And when this phase would be finished, a lot of people can just use the Log Detective itself. So it would be really directly onto the logs, not like all of the things, but only logs, and it would be better than ChatGPT, an example.
Okay, so it's like a community-trained artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Okay.
So like everyone can contribute into the Log Detective.
Thank you. Yeah. Next question.
Yep. Thank you very much for your presentation. I just would like to ask you to briefly sum up your contribution to the project. I've understood you have done some kind of an interface, but is there anything else that you have implemented throughout for that, essentially?
So yeah, actually that one CLI model, can I... Here it is. So we developed some kind of really usable interface here. So you can create your own option, in example, just with just few of lines. So in example, we have already implemented the verbosity level and path to the log file and other options such as send metadata or not. Our adapter tool lets you create more of the options which you want, and it would work well with the Log Detective itself. Yeah, very flexible.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the audience or people who are online? Looks like not. Then thank you very much for your presentation. And would please the next SUSE team come forward to get wired up. And let's start the presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Kirill, and today I would like to introduce you our project for openSUSE. As I know, not everyone here study computer science, so I would like to start from the beginning. What is operation system? Operation systems runs on every computer, but we have a lot of operation systems. One of them is openSUSE. openSUSE stands out for its stability, a lot of technical advantages, and for me, as for developer and student, the key advantage is openSUSE is free. So, but on all operation system is the same problem with applications. As you can see in the slide, we have a failed build, and it's a big problem for everybody. And but the smart guys make a cool solution for it. It's a program which can log every problem. But most of them works on principle, save everything what has happened. But to understand all this log, in my opinion, you need at least 10 years of practical experience and degree in computer science. So we have found a cool solution to decipher this text. It's Log Detective tool. Log Detective tool is open source free tool for Fedora Linux to analyze logs and provide us information about the problem. But you, as attentive listeners, right now, has a question for me. Why we can use Fedora Linux tool in openSUSE? And my answer is really simple. openSUSE and Fedora use the same package systems, and a lot of package and both systems are just the same. So we can use this tool to analyze openSUSE logs too. So the problem is that we need manually load all these logs to get any answer from this AI model. And we found a solution for it. The solution is OSC plugin. And I would like to hand over to Eleonora, who will describe the technical part of our solution.
Okay, hello everyone. So our plugin is a middleman between openSUSE build system and Log Detective's AI. It starts by figuring out your current working directory to determine the project and package. Then it fetches the build log. Next, it wraps it up and sends to Log Detective so that it can break it down, all that complex mess, into human-readable explanation. Our plugin has two main commands. The first one is ld-submit, which basically does not provide you an explanation, but it contributes to the Log Detective's AI so that their model can learn, so that it can later provide more reasonable answers for users. And the second one, ld explain, they should be written. So it submits for AI analysis and gives you an explanation in human-readable format. Here you can see the examples of using these commands. The first one is submit. You get the response OK, meaning that it found the log and sent it to the Log Detective and everything worked fine. And the second, it's a bigger text. It's using the ld explain command. So it also found the log and sent it to the AI and gets the explanation. It's still a lot of text, but at least you can actually understand what's going on. So in summary, while openSUSE and Log Detective do all the main work, our plugin makes sure that all the right information gets where it needs to be, and that you don't need some degree to understand what's going on and to solve the problem. And the last thing I want you to introduce to our team of 7 members. Isa. And also about the responsibilities, our team worked, all the responsibilities were evenly distributed, and all the team members contributed to the project. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have time for questions. Daniel, Anthony, if you'd like to ask questions.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have the output of the command for explaining a log? In your test, did you find? I know that you don't need to know about RPM or what it's failing or whatever, but reading the answer, did you find this interesting? The output something reasonable?
Yes, actually, I tested it on the both log detectives manually and via our command, and the answers were pretty the same, which is already a good sign that it's at least consistent. And looking deeper, I can see that there is some propositions how to solve it, and even, well, it has a certainty of 55%, which is not high, but I think it's only for now because log detective is still learning.
I can add to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also thinking about to providing more logs to log detective to learn from it. So, and after that we will improve precision of it.
Yeah, that's why I did this question, because log detective is trained right now with Fedora logs. So it's interesting if it's with the current training, if it's getting correct answer or something useful. Because if we add, with this implementation, if we add more data to the AI, for sure the information will be a lot better for us. So thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Other questions from the audience? Yes.
This is, again, awesome. I just wonder, how does it deal with semantic errors? Like, you know how you make normal errors? Like you misspelled something or you didn't allocate enough memory. How does it deal with semantic errors? Like, does it understand the code fully?
Okay, just to clarify, you're asking about the usage of our plugin, or?
Like you write code and there's semantic errors, there's runtime errors, there's semantic errors. So like your code doesn't work as it's intended. Can it understand how your code is actually supposed to work and fix it?
Not actually. It's you get this log because of the failed build. That means that others wrote the code and you used their packages or something from them, and their build failed on your system, and you get the log and then upload it to the log detective's AI. So it's not that you're writing something, but you use something that was written by someone else. Yeah.
I think Kirill also wants to add to that. You have a microphone.
Actually, this tool is mostly usable for some system logs. Like if you run some application and it fails, then you have some log file which has some information about it. This AI plugin can help us to analyze these logs and get all information about it. Why it can probably broke, or why it actually don't start. So.
Also, what if the log contains like private information about your system, like system information that should not be leaked, and if it sends it, like if it like sends it for evaluation, like it sends to openSUSE, what happens then if your data gets leaked?
Actually, it's an open source project, and if you want it for some sensitive data, you can try to run it locally and train it locally, not to send your data somewhere. So it can be fixed this way.
Okay, thanks.
Are there any other questions? Yeah.
Do you have some demonstration of how suggested fixes would look like?
Do you mean the output of the explanation command?
Yeah, like just the demonstration of how it would work, how it would look like.
Okay.
We have can demonstrate it to you after this presentation, but in this presentation we didn't record the demo. But thank you for your answer.
If we have time, we can make it. If we have time, we can make it. Or?
I'm not sure.
Well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to run the virtual machine and so on.
We can believe that that you can demonstrate it, and for sure, if there will be plenty of time in the break when you can get together and show the features of your systems. But let's not do that now.
Can I also add? We are now also editing codes and just fix some edit it to be best practice. So and after that we plan to make a PR to the Git repository.
Mm-hmm.
So you will have opportunity to see it there.
Okay. I also have a question, again, from the architecture side. I read this great article which had the title, Things Architects Do That Computers Should. And you could also reverse it, Things Computers Do That Architects Should. So when you are using this tool for helping you with debugging things, of course, arguably, AI will help you a lot. But maybe there comes a point where you, as a programmer, should also still know what's going on and not blindly follow what AI is suggesting you. How would you balance this? Is this a problem or not?
Mostly it's not a problem because every current operation system is really large, and even if you spend 20 years to work in a company like Microsoft or Apple who make this operation system, you will not know everything in it. So the AI tool is probably the best solution, because now if we don't use AI tools for these purposes, we just need to find some technical documentation about it or read some websites with discussions how to fix some problem or something like it. So the AI tool is probably the best solution right now which we have.
Yeah, but of course, before implementing what AI suggests us, of course, we need to get into the documentation and check it out. But what AI helps us to do is to narrow our scope where we should investigate everything. But thank you for your
question.
Yeah, it also speeds up a process a lot. So while you could do this yourself, you would spend a much longer time than with using AI.
Perfect, thank you. I'm completely convinced. Are there any other questions from the audience? Daniel Garcia? No more remarks? No? Then thank you very much.
No.
No.
No. Anything else? Just feel free to share with us when you have some code to test or to review. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm pleased to see you here. Thank you for coming. Today I'm presenting for the team called PREdictors. We are predicting the electricity load for the PRE company. Let's begin. Imagine you are building a new neighborhood. First of all, the new neighborhood all the time needs some basic amenities, such as water, transport, and electricity, the thing we are focusing on today. And the company supplying the electricity to some new neighborhood needs to estimate how much infrastructure will they need in that new neighborhood. We are helping with that by predicting the load on the future neighborhood, and thus helping understand how much, for example, solar panels will the company need to install there. This will allow the company's operations to be more cost, energy effective, and also will have other benefits. We received the data and began working. The data looks roughly something like this. It's a consumption pattern of a single domestic neighborhood. It correlates with different variables, for example, temperature. But there are many other variables, so we had to work hard in order to find them out. We consulted the top lab in the Czech Republic. We went to the PRE headquarters. We had multiple calls with PRE, and we have discussed our solution throughout. We have read research papers, and this resulted in a smart model which takes many features into account. This is an example output of our model. It takes in the historical load. It takes in other variables such as weather forecast, and then outputs the future consumption. Our model also has a real-world application. We have thought that through. So here is the interface prototype we have designed. The user may enter parameters like how many houses will be built in the future neighborhood, the planned year of the construction being finished, along with some other variables, and then receive an estimate on the consumption for each month, alongside with the number of solar panels that are optimal for that exact neighborhood. This will result in more data-driven PRE decisions, which will give several benefits, including the competitive advantage. Because our solution is completely unique, we are the first people to work with this data this way. And we are using absolutely cutting-edge technology in our model. We also have future plans. Our project is very much future-proof because the number of smart meters from which we receive the data is only increasing, and thus we'll have more data in the future, and our prediction accuracy will only increase with time. We are a very good team. Each member of our team has contributed much to the project. We have a wide variety of specialists in different neighboring fields, and I would like to thank my team for that exciting week, and I hope that we'll spend some or a lot more time together. We have also predicted you'll have questions, so what's on your mind?
I think your prediction will come true, so please. One from the audience, but we can also ask, of course, from themselves. But let's start then with the audience.
Thank you for your presentation. You said that the way you analyze the data you received is completely unique, and you are using cutting-edge technology. Could you please elaborate on that and explain how do you do it?
Yes, sure. I'll answer the uniqueness part, and I'll let Ivan answer the technical part because he is the machine learning engineer, the main machine learning engineer in our team. We are the first people to have received this kind of data from PRE and to work with it in such academic and informed way. That is why our solution is very much unique and very beneficial for PRE. I'll let Ivan answer the part about the model itself.
Switch it on.
Yeah, well, where is it? 1, 2, 3. Okay. First of all, thank you for the question. And I wanted to say that we did a thorough research on using different papers, and we consulted the lab here at CTU who works with sustainability, and they provided us with the top models which are available right now. So, and deep learning and statistical as well. So we've chosen one of the models, the last generation of one, which is called SariMax. So in case you want to find out more about it, you can, for example, read a paper where it was presented, but its name is SariMax.
Okay, thank you.
My dear colleague Veronica is getting a lot of exercise today for handing the microphone to the people. Thank you very much.
The problem with solar panels is usually that there is a surplus of energy produced, right? So have you thought about spreading this idea on designing the capacity of battery, or are you just gonna sell the leftover energy to the grid?
Precisely, the thing is, our model is taking that into account, the way that the amount of solar panels in the neighborhood should be not so much and not so little, because in Czech Republic the amount of energy that they generate varies throughout the year, and we don't really want to have a huge surplus of energy that the whole neighborhood won't consume, because then it should be distributed to other neighborhoods. It becomes more and more complex. We are focusing on redistributing the energy within the neighborhood, because it's more energy efficient and it's more environmentally friendly.
Thank you.
Maybe our dear jury member from PRE has a question or remark. Everything is clear. That's a good sign, huh? I have a question. Very often when you see some predictions, you have this small print below. Results from the past are no guarantee for the future. So, of course, you train your model on the data, but things are very dynamic and changing in the future. For example, we know that at the end of this century, the average temperature in Prague will rise 4 to 6 degrees. So can your model take that into account?
That is precisely why you need our model, because our model takes multiple variables into account, including the temperature as one of the main impactors, one of the main things that affect heavily the consumption. And it would be very hard to estimate the load without such a good technology.
I would also want to add a bit more on that. Well, what Fedor has already mentioned, there are a lot of other factors which we included to above just the low data which we had before that. We also took into account, for example, holidays, because on holidays people typically just, they go on a vacation. That is why they don't consume energy. And in case you have some kind of a non-intelligent model, right, or some simple mathematical approach, it's really hard to actually incorporate these new features, and it's really hard to track them. And what our model does, it incorporates it, it learns these trends, and that is why actually we get some good results.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. So I've heard that you use like some of meteorological data such as temperature, and I have working like on this kind of information before. And the problem is that maybe sometime you cannot get like exact location of the station that collect this kind of data. And if you like new project, let's say new neighborhood, like need that kind of information in that place. So how would you like model or your like solution help with this problem?
I would say that it's a great question, and only in collaboration with Prague we can actually solve it, because they have the data. And we actually saw this problem when we were trying to evaluate our solution. We had data from 2 different unnamed neighborhoods, so we didn't know where they were located. By the patterns, we understood that these 2 neighborhoods were completely different. So, of course, our model trained on one neighborhood didn't actually saw the trends that would be in another neighborhood. So only by having a great amount of data, which PRE can provide, and this is the added value which shows that the solution is actually unique, because having this much data will allow us to make the predictions that nobody else can do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Other questions or remarks? Yes, please. Sorry, Veronica, all the way in the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi. I have a question regarding the physical meanings of the meteorological data, because you're just talking meteorological data, but which meteorological data are you using? Because some, say, if we measure albedo and then we can measure irradiation and then we can measure like temperature, these properties are interconnected. So how do you compensate in the model for interconnecting of these properties?
Yes, currently we are using temperature and a metric called solar energy, which essentially is the irradiation that you have managed. Because I think because of our model is a pretty new one, it has some fancy features incorporated in it, probably some regularization and stuff. And I suppose the problem with intercorrelated features is not such a big problem in our case because of that new model.
Okay, so since you are using temperature, I have a following questions. Temperatures are measured usually in different heights, and we also can measure temperature of surface. So which temperature are you using? Because it's really different in a village and in a city. So for example, in a city, the temperatures of surface and air are really different compared to the village. So how do you can like extrapolate data from the city to the village if you have no like, if you trained a model in a city, can I use it in a village?
Yep, sure.
Currently what we are using right now is, like, first of all, for each neighborhood, I would expect that we would need to add some features, which would say that, for example, which type of location it is, to actually incorporate these like biases, as you just mentioned. So it's also important. Thank you for mentioning this, because I haven't thought even about it. But the data which we take, it's either from the open resources, so we don't actually know how it was taken there, right? For example, we make API calls from AccuWeather, the website which accumulates this weather data, right? Because this is one of the like not so many providers which can make it in real time, because we want to make forecasts, right? And we don't have many options to choose from. But based on the location, as you said, we can add some more biases. We can think about it. And in case you like, we'll be able to elaborate on that throughout the like maybe the break. So could you please come to us? We would really want to have this conversation. Maybe you could show us some insights on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And maybe one more. If you are incorporating these biases, which statistical error are you accounting for? Like, are you using type 1 error, type 2 error, and so on?
I suggest that I think that we are more relying on the model metrics than the direct statistics approach that you have mentioned. but maybe my colleagues will have a more in-depth answer to this.
Say that I have more deep answers than that because we didn't have like more data, I would say, to experiment with that and take a look at it. So I would say, yeah, we are still in process.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It was already a very technical discussion. Great. Any other remarks, questions? If not, then I can predict you get some applause. Thank you very much. Then we're going to ask the next team to come for the challenge on Capexus.
Good evening. We're Team ReTile presenting our solution for Capexus. I'm Shejar, studying at FIT.
I'm Conlon Ma. I'm an exchange student studying at the Faculty of IT.
I'm Marek Šimik, studying at Sopocnica Banska, which is a high school.
I'm Nazima from the Faculty of Biomedical Engineering.
My name is Jan Plašil and I study at MIAS.
All right, so first of all, let's start off with why we are even doing this. Capexus is an interior construction company. That means they go inside of buildings and build it out however their clients want. Before they can do that, they have to demolish everything that is currently existing there. This generates a whole lot of waste. Let's go figure out what we can do about it.
So this is Perry the plasterboard. This is his home. He's very sad, and why is that? This is because just like every other plasterboard, he knows he'll end up in a landfill. And when that happens, he decomposes with other biodegradable material over there and produces hydrogen sulfide, which is a very harmful gas for humans.
But what if he could live forever?
Well, he might just have to undergo a transformation.
This is our proposal. We're going to take that wasted plasterboard from these demolition projects. We are going to pulverize it into a sand-like material, mix that with resin, and then pour it into tiles, which can then be reused in construction projects as flooring or siding on walls.
And we know this works because a company called EuroTeQ, based in South Africa, does a similar process. What we are proposing is we're going to follow a similar thing by basically mixing resin and plasterboard to create tiles.
This is how our company is going to work. We're going to be a third-party, separate entity from Capexus, and we will acquire the plasterboard waste from them. They have to pay a disposal fee to normally get rid of it. We'll take it from them for free. We manufacture at our own site using the process we've mentioned, and we'll explain a bit more later. And then these ReTiles that we create can be sold back to these construction companies for them to integrate into their projects.
Currently, the industry standard is to dump all this waste into landfills. We're going to save Capexus and our other clients a lot of money by getting rid of the waste from them. We get the waste from them for free, and they don't have to pay the disposable fee for the landfills.
All right, and then with that waste material, we're going to mix the plasterboard with the resin on these ratios, 85% waste material, 15% resin. Now, the resin we chose is one that was optimized for cost, first of all, and then how quickly it sets and cures, so our manufacturing process is as easy as possible. And finally, and most importantly, it is human safe, so you can safely put it inside your buildings and use it where you're going to live.
We can manufacture these tiles for roughly 300 crowns per meter square and sell it for around 500 crowns per meter square. This compared to traditional tiles, which are roughly sold for 550 to 885 crowns per meter square, is a very competitive price, and we're helping with recycling, and it's pretty cheap because all of our material is pretty much recycled and free. Thank you for listening, and feel free to ask us any questions.
Yeah, here, I'll pass that. And then we have a prototype here, which you can look at and play with just to see what it feels like.
Thank you very much for making Perry very happy. Let's see if we can also make the audience and Capexus very happy. Do you have any questions? Yes?
Well, yeah, I'm happy so far. About the economical part, so there is not going to be any, let's say, money exchange. It's not going to be buy or sold the companies, or you will just get the waste, let's say, for free. Okay, and a second question, have you thought what the mechanical or thermal properties of the final tiles are going to be?
We have a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have compared the strength and some other factors, and some studies that already suggested that. We think that it will be tiles, for example, as in kitchen. If you have, because the company that we thought about from the South Africa is using it in bathrooms, and they have other layers, so it's more expensive. It's really like luxury and expensive product. We are looking for more the kitchen backboard stuff. And we need to, the properties for the certification to use it in the home. We would need to more look into that and do more research. We were thinking about using it on the outside of the walls. There are other certifications, and it does not have high isolation properties. Maybe sound a bit was mentioned in some studies.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, please.
I have one question. If you are encasing the waste in plastic, isn't there a problem with flammability of the material? Especially if it's in the kitchen, I can imagine that it can catch on fire, and that would be really a big problem, especially if it's burning resin.
We would cover it and mix it with fire retardant for passing the certifications, for example. It also carries increased costs. Yeah, we are aware of that, of these risks. However, I can assure you that it's 85% of the waste material which is not flammable.
Okay, and one more question. You were talking about shredding the material to make it more applicable into the plastic. How you imagine doing that with the plasterboards or tiles or just the material you want to recycle?
Thank you for the question very much. I actually have the waste from one of the reconstruction of one of houses from bathroom, and I can, if you want, I can send it up to you. And it's actually pretty small sizes, and that's one of the risks. You uncovered both the shredding and but the mold was done without any shredding, just from straight out of the container by shovel. So
okay, thanks, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, there was a question over here. And another one, good.
You've mentioned wholesale price. Do you have a method that you've used to reach it?
We just did the estimation because we need. Oh, they even increased. Yeah. We did that. We can create that under 300 crowns per square meter, and up to that we need to cover all the costs for the shredding and for the certifications, which is unknown for us. So this is the wholesale, also some transportation. So not exactly, but the margin of 30% sounded reasonable. So we were more focused on which product we are trying to like replace or imitate to look similar and have the similar properties. We switched from many products, so we didn't have enough time to like do proper economical estimate, but this was our final one for now.
Thank you.
I think there was another question in front. It was the same question. Then it probably was a very good question. I also have a question. It's again regarding the resin part. As you say, we want to make Perry live forever. And how does the resin part play a role in that? How good can you recycle this after this product?
That is a problematic question because you would need to. It depends on the damage. One of our like future intentions is to make it thinner, and it would be more economical feasible because it's really strong material. And then we could maybe, if we broke smaller, thinner tile, we could make it bigger by put it in a second mold, let's say, to cover the damage. But we didn't have time to do research on it. This is our like approach that we would like to further investigate if we can incorporate the first body into the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But resin from the research videos, not I have seen they can do layers of it, so it shouldn't be a problem. But we need to definitely do further research.
And obviously there could also be alternative materials for doing that, but of course time was limited. Good. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Could you please elaborate on the potential health risks, maybe, because the idea of taking some waste or some unused material and then making some tiles or strong objects with it using resin is not like extremely new, and there are frequent some health risks associated with like microscopic particles of that resin coming into lungs and that stuff. Have you maybe thought about that or something?
The resin we choose was called HAP. Yeah, this. It has some certifications for human safety and no human harm. So this was like one of our criteria by choosing. But we still think that it would need to be painted, like for the design and for the sake of touching and scratching of it. Because if you scratch it, yes, some could get into your food, but it should not be harmful. But there is still the construction waste. So
thank you for paying attention. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? If not, then thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
And we would like to ask the last team to come forward.
Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. Nowadays offices produce a lot of waste, either during construction or by their daily use. The waste could be minimized, even if by 1% could yield a huge difference. Capexus is a company that tries to address this issue. Their main pursuit in designing office spaces, and as such a company with goals to minimize their ecological footprint, they ask us as students to tackle this problem. In our team we have Jakub, that's me, Alex, Gautier, Philip, and Elise. We have come up with ideas regarding both the construction and the daily use of office spaces. Our solutions consist of small changes that together can make a bigger change without interfering with Capexus' creativity and design skills, while also being applicable to another companies aiming to reduce their environmental footprint. So, Alex, what's our first solution?
So, during construction processes, a significant amount of waste are produced and can be avoided by using an optimized program for cutting. Our solutions work with an internal database where we can share the scraps and leftovers from previous utilization of this program. We take as an input some shapes that are needed for construction, such as flowing tails or things like that. And we use plates from the database that are used for cutting. Those same scraps can be used afterwards for future utilization of the same program. And the major output is the cutting process for the machinery. Our solution can reduce waste by 15 to 30% depending on the material, complexity, and cutting processes. And by using the material reuse, we can lead to significant cost savings on raw materials and even more benefits and waste reduction.
Thank you, Alexander. So another idea is for the lifecycle part of the office. So if we take a look at the pie, we can see that 37% of the water used in an office is just for the restrooms. So it's a problem since all water is expensive and not ecological. So the solution to this is to use cold water for washing instead of hot water. So if we take an example of an office made of 50 people, we can see that the cost of water consumption is lower for cold water than for hot water, and you can save up to 82% for the annual bill. Same thing for the carbon footprint, since you can have a reduction of 98 or 99% for the carbon footprint. About the efficiency of cold water, it provides the same effect as hot water, since it's mostly the chemical composition of soaps that fights bacteria and not the temperature of the water. And it's scientifically proven that cold water removes germs as well as hot water. About other solutions for water usage, you can, for example, put a double flush toilet with an integrated sink to reuse the water, or also implement the grey water system.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine this. You walk into your office, pour yourself a cup of coffee, wash your hands, flush the toilet, whatever. You're using all of this water, which can be, again, reused. And this amounts up to thousands of liters of water of our offices in Prague daily. Yeah, so why not save this? There is a system called gray water per system, which collects all this water that can be filtered and reused again. So how does it work? It is already done and put into use. Usually it is a huge complex of pipes done for the whole building. However, this company can do it site specifically, which for Capexus is ideal as they do not project the whole building, but just one floor or depending on the office spaces. So what's the impact? Well, it reduces up to 45% of tap water usage per an average office space, around 15 to 35 people, lowers energy consumption, and 90 kilograms of carbon CO2 emissions are saved per year, which is better than nothing, right? So why not use it again? And 21,000 Czech crowns in terms of economics per year per average company size.
By integrating these solutions, Capexus could make a significant impact on waste reduction. With the water, we could save and reduce CO2 emission by 3 tons per year, and with the optimization cutting process, it's possible to reduce waste by between 15 and 30%. By integrating this solution into each process, Capexus could become a model of sustainable innovation in its sectors and preserving its creativity and its design freedom. This could also inspire other companies to rethink their approach to resources and to the environment. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. So please, let's open the floor for questions and discussion. Yeah.
So to reduce water usage, rather than replacing hot water with cold water, why not just use water-saving taps? They reduce water usage up to 90%, so you could still have hot water, but less water usage.
That is true. However, not using hot water is eliminating the whole factor of using power plants or energy. Because hot water is in an office space actually not really necessary. As, for example, you want coffee, you will take it from a coffee machine, which boils its own water, its own coils. Also, you want to wash the dishes, you use the washing machine, dishwasher for that. In terms of cold water, as Gauthier mentioned, it cleans as much germs efficiently as home warm water. However, it decreases a large amount of energy. So there is the argument if we really need hot water in an office space, if we can save this much.
But you can just use water-saving taps and just save water usage by night.
You can save water. However, by not using hot water, you save energy in general. Like you don't need any more installation. You just don't plug the hot water outlet into your basin, basically.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
Also, have you guys thought about using no water urinals? It could save up to all the water that you use for urinals in the men's bathroom, like in general, bathrooms in general.
Yeah, we tried not to be gender specific. Just kidding. But yeah, we were mentioning toilets. So double flushing and everything that you can specify if you have any specific question in terms of that. We didn't consider urinals. However, we did consider toilets.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I have one simple question. What is the installation cost of such an infrastructure?
Which
Yeah, the thing you show us. Yeah, this thing.
This one. Yes. So this company has different sizes depending on the usage. Usually, what they do, they sell it for single homes because when you want the gray water, you have to plan it with an architect or a civil engineer, and they take all this process away and sort of do it themselves. And apart from homes, it can also be used for offices, depending on the scale. They usually range from 4,000 to 6,000 euros per one of this fridge. I don't know how would you describe it else. However, in terms of the saving, the money will come back to you in projected 4 to 5 years. However, this isn't an investment for the Capexus company. It is more for the office or the company that will use the office spaces. This is sort of more ecological thinking rather than economical. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Maybe from Capexus, some remarks? If not, there is a question over here.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question about the grey water stations. You've mentioned that they save the electrical energy. How do we actually achieve that? Because we need to clean the water and it takes electricity to do that. How does this fit in with the installing a separate hydroloop station?
I'm sorry, maybe I misspoke. In terms of the energy, it's usually saved by the cold and hot water. That's the energy. The electricity isn't really saved. However, it doesn't require as much energy for the filtration. I maybe didn't mention it, but there are 6 stages of the whole filtration process. They start from mechanical ones, such as flotation, aeration, sedimentation, I think it was foam also. And then the electrical processes, which is, for example, UV disinfection. But this system doesn't run 24/7. It has cycles, which also can be operated by an app, so it's accessible. But the whole calculation, it saves the environment, you could say, like the argument, but not specifically energy.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yes. Sorry, Veronica, you are really running a lot today. So no more questions from that side, please.
Thank you for presentation. It was really nice from where I stand. I have a question about the optimization of a cutting. Is it going to be like a separate software, or is it going to be implementable to standard softwares that are used nowadays, such as AutoCAD, Architect, CAD/CAM?
We design it like, I don't know if you get, like, it can be used by almost everyone. Like, you just have to choose the size of the plates that we can take from the database or from your furniture, like the one who sell the plates, and you can change the size of all the things. Like, everything can be like personalized and do by yourself. So it can be used by Capexus, other companies, or whatever.
So right now it's a demo. It was just to showcase that it is possible by a few students in a span of 1 week. However, it doesn't have to be write a plugin into AutoCAD or ArchiCAD. It can be an application of its own, a data bank in a sense of used parts that could be reused again, right?
Yeah, that's the idea, and we get the codes that we use, but not that much relevant, I think.
So you're saying that it is possible to make it as a plugin to some kind of other software, but you would prefer to sell it as your own kind of software?
Everything is possible if you have the time and resources, of course. But this would be more efficient as its own application or thing, rather than being an addition to programming for AutoCAD, for example. The idea was that you have some shapes that you design, you send them here, or you use this program to calculate the optimal placement on, for example, the cutting sheets, and it would store then the information of the parts that weren't used, so scrap parts, have it in data bank, and then again in another project, it could resource this material, these used parts. Yeah. So it wouldn't really make sense to put it directly into AutoCAD, as when you design, you change a lot of times. So it could be. Why not? But
yeah, maybe we can discuss it later. But my question is answered. Thank you.
We're going to have plenty of time for discussing between the teams and the people who are here. Are there any other questions? If not, then thank you very much for this final presentation. And with that, we have come to an end of the first part of today's Collider presentations. What will happen now is that the jury members will get together to look at all the presentations, to evaluate them, and to come to a final decision of, well, the general result, of course. But I think I'm not telling a secret if I can tell you that everybody has passed. But of course, what will be very important and interesting is to see who will be selected to go to the EuroTeQathon and who will be selected to go to the bootcamp. So the jury will now have roughly 55 minutes of time, so we will meet again at 7:30 here. You are of course free to help yourself to the refreshments, to talk with your colleagues, friends, to talk with the people who are here, and then see you in at 7:30. All right, the moment we have all been waiting for, the finale of today's Collider. First of all, many thank yous for all the people who took part this year in Collider. Of course, first of all, the people who provided the challenges from Pixida, Tuluke, Capexus, PRE, and SUSE. And a very big thank you for you, the students who took part in the Collider this year. We really appreciate it a lot that you take this experiment and this adventure and to work through 9 very intensive days in mixed teams with people you never met before on challenges that you also usually are a little bit outside of your field of expertise and comfort zone. But I think you learn a lot if you work in this way on challenges like this. Thank you for my colleagues, the tutors, who were all the time around to assist you with helping with these challenges. A very big thank you for the people who did all the support in the PR and the arranging the space over here and running around with microphones this evening. Veronica, Annetta, Libusje, Marcella, and Alesh. And a big thank you for the CTU management team who is heading the EuroTeQ project. Zbyněk Škvor, who is here in person, but also Romana Pikulova and Pava Kaudelak and Gabriela Achtenova. And a very big thank you, as always, for the perfect technical support by Mr. Jan Slama and his team. So, that one was for you, huh? Not for me. So, now we get to the point where we're going to say who will go to EuroTeQathon, who will go to bootcamp. But what is that? The EuroTeQathon is the event where from every partner university that is in the EuroTeQ consortium sends their 3 best teams to this event, the EuroTeQathon. This year, it will take place in Eindhoven in this beautiful space that you see over here, the innovation space. So there we will spend 3 very intensive days to improve the pitches, to go through workshops, to get a lot of feedback from the other student teams that are at the EuroTeQathon. Also, of course, to have a lot of fun. And then do the final pitches on Monday the 16th. And from that EuroTeQathon, again, 3 best teams overall from all the universities will be selected. And to the EuroTeQathon, as I said, we can send 3 teams from today's Collider that we did today. Then there is another event that is in the framework of EuroTeQ Consortium, and that's the so-called bootcamp. The bootcamp is especially oriented towards teams that are most ready to market, that have a high potential to create and realize their project, let's say, in the market, in reality. And this bootcamp is organized by our partner, IES Business School in Barcelona. So, and that will take place from the 28th to the 31st of July. And without further ado, I have the pleasure that Zbyněk Škvor is here, and he can announce the winners who will go to the EuroTeQ in Eindhoven.
Should I use the mic?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm here to translate warm greetings from Rector Professor Petracek, who could not make it here but sent myself. And now, first again, thank all of you for participation. We have no losers, we have only winners. Everybody who did it is a winner. Between those winners, we have special winners, and I have to make that public. So please, ReTile.
Aneta, do you want to take pictures right now?
Okay.
Do you want to take pictures right now? Yes. Okay, so please, ReTile, come forward.
ReTile. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Congratulations. And now smile.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect. Just will you repeat that in Eindhoven? Thank you. We still have several places to announce.
Yes. Who will join ReTile?
PREdictors. Come on, PREdictors. Congratulations. 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 Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
This color of jacket is pretty nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we still do have something to announce. CropCarbon. Congratulations. 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 And let's take a snap. Thank you. And now who will visit Barcelona?
Now we need the music, eh?
Yeah.
And to Barcelona goes.
No boundaries. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So at the end, just a small remark. We will have another Collider 1 year later. So I hope I will see some of you, and I will see you here at the ceremony winning.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Henri, for doing the job.
Not just
because
me.
I know that's not just you, but thank you.
Thank you. So with that, we can close today's Collider. Congratulations to everybody. as the Mr. Vice-Rector said, everybody is a winner because you successfully completed the Collider. That means those of you who were actively participating in the projects, you will get your credits. You will also get a certificate. And for those who need it, you will also get an excuse slip that you could not attend all the courses that you did during the week. So once more, thank you very much. If there are still some refreshments left, but I don't know, then take them. If not, then thank you very much. And yeah, thank you.